Men of Vision. Men of Vision. Men who have opened the eyes of the world. Each week at this time, we bring you dramatic highlights from the lives of men who have pioneered in the realms of liberty, knowledge, and optics. Men who have played a part in bringing us all better vision. Today, we speak of Roger Bacon. Friar Bacon, Franciscan Doctor of Theology, has returned from Paris to Oxford to lecture not on theology, but on science and education. His fiery, biting tongue has already stirred rumblings of denunciation that have spread to Paris and even to Rome. We look in on a classroom as a session is drawing to a close. Bacon is speaking.
The trouble, gentlemen, is that you don't think. You see a thing written in a book, you thoughtlessly accept it as true. Usually it isn't. Yet you are not entirely to blame. The fault lies largely with your teachers. Oh, why don't they experiment? Why don't they really find out the facts of the world and of being? I'll tell you why. Because they're too self-centered and self-satisfied. Where in the whole realm can we find a true educator?
How about Alexander of Hales?
Alexander of Hales, indeed. You think all you have to do is memorize his book of questions and answers. You have an education. Why, the man himself hasn't even a smattering of an education. As far as real knowledge is concerned, he's a hollow shell, an imposter. Gentlemen, don't be infants all your lives. Open up your minds to what is, and to the even greater marvels that are to be. The day will come when man will sail on the seas, without wind and without rowers. He will cover the land as fast as the wind, or he will fly with wings of his own making. He will walk on the bottom of the ocean without danger. He will span the rivers with bridges having neither piers nor columns in the water.
Black magic.
What? Class dismissed. Faithful John. John of London. Every day you keep coming to my lectures.
Yes, Friar Bacon. And I come early. The room is always so crowded. I noticed Guy de Fulk in the back of the room today, but he slipped out quickly at the end of the lecture.
I like Guy de Fulk. I've had several private talks with him, and he's an open-minded, intelligent man. But he's a paper legatee. I guess he's afraid to be seen with me.
It's too bad, Friar, that there's so much strife about your teachings. But you talk over the heads of your listeners, and they call it black magic.
Black magic they believe. When I point out scientific fact, they reject it. Call me liar.
Or heretic.
Heretic? Is it that bad?
Yes, and you are blamed mightily for following after infidels.
What do they mean, infidels?
Referring to Alhazen, I suppose.
Fools. Don't they realize that the Arabs are the only ones who have added to knowledge practically since Ptolemy's day? Oh, but when did I mention Alhazen?
Why, the day you lectured on the refraction of light and showed how a ray of light is bent when it enters a body of water and is also bent again when it leaves the body of water. You know, the day you used the glass tank.
Oh, yes. I've discovered that light is bent in the same fashion as it passes through a piece of glass. In fact, refraction takes place whenever light passes from any medium of one density into a medium of another density.
Indeed. Is that so? That's very interesting.
The whole field of optics is very interesting, John. I noticed the other day that if a segment of a spherical burning glass is laid over a written page, it makes the letters appear larger. You know, old people could use that to aid their failing eyesight.
Oh, they could. Well, it's marvelous, but may I suggest that you introduce the idea with very temperate words?
Why, John, what do you mean? Speak freely.
Well, sometimes, Friar Bacon, you get carried away with a subject. You lashed out pretty bitterly against Alexander of Hales today.
I spoke only the truth, John.
I know, Friar, but some people can't stand the truth.
What's that? Come in.
A messenger.
Friar Bacon,
Yes, I am he.
a message for you from Bonaventura, General of the Franciscan Order.
Oh, thank you. There's no answer.
What is it, Friar?
I'm ordered to stop my heretical lecturing and to go to Paris.
I was afraid of this. You mustn't go. While you are in England, you are safe. But once they have you in Paris, no telling what they will do. I'm sorry, but you have made enemies, bitter enemies. You know that.
Yes, John, but I must go. I took the vows. I must obey the General's orders. I must go.
Well, Brother Roger, I come again to bring your weekly dole of bread and water.
You grow old in my service, Brother Ambrose. 10 years it is now I've been behind these bars. I'm sorry to cause you so much labor.
A labor of love, I assure you. What's this?
You have a visitor, Brother Roger.
A visitor for Roger Bacon? And you mean he's going to be admitted?
Indeed he is. He comes from Rome, direct from the Pope himself.
Oh. Probably means the axe.
But why send a special messenger for that?
Yeah, that's so, too. Well, we'd better get this place tidied up a bit. One never can tell.
That's right.
Well, I'll try to make the place presentable while you go fetch the messenger.
The Pope. Rome.
And there are things even worse than the axe, Brother Roger.
Friar Bacon, I bear greetings from His Holiness Pope Clement IV, and the message.
Yes?
You are to deliver to me, and I am to bear to him the writings of your teachings on the knowledge and sciences of today. If he finds this to be based upon proven fact, you are thereupon to be released forthwith. It seems he recalls knowing you and your lectures at Oxford.
Oxford? Clement? Clement?
Perhaps you would recall His Holiness if I were to say Guy de Fawkes.
Guy de Fawkes? Pope Clement IV?
The same.
Ambrose. Brother Ambrose, do you hear? Where are my writings? My books I brought with me to Paris.
Gone where they belong, to feed the flames of the devil.
You mean
burned?
all of them?
Yes, all.
Oh, but surely something must be left.
Not a page. Then you have nothing to forward to the Pope?
Nothing.
That is indeed sad. Sad. For your release depended on it.
But wait. I will write it all down afresh. All that I've written before and more. Bring me quills. Fetch me parchment.
Quills and parchment? You know these are not allowed you, Brother Roger. Fetch him quills and parchment. I know His Holiness would have it so. I stand responsible.
Thank you. Thank you. And bear my thanks and love to Pope Clement. To Guy de Fawkes. Tell him my every waking moment will be spent on his commission. That the work shall be written in my very heart's blood. That I shall forward it to him at the earliest possible time.
Yes, Friar Bacon. I go. Pax vobiscum. Friar Bacon, are you home? It is I, John of London.
John. Oh, John, come in. Oh, John, where have you been?
As soon as I delivered your books in Rome, I returned to Paris. But I found that meanwhile you had been released.
Yes, only a few days after you left, they turned me free.
I wasted a lot of time looking around Paris for you. Then I thought that perhaps you had gone back to England, so I hurried across. Oh, I'm glad to find you.
Well, tell me all about it, John.
Well, first of all, Friar, what you have done is tremendous. I read the books, the Opus Maius and the other two, as I traveled. Nothing to equal them had ever been written before. And to think that you did them without notes, without reference material, in barely 18 months.
Oh, it wouldn't have taken that long had not the slowness of my pen held back the rushing thought.
And such thought, such logic. I tell you, Friar, the name Roger Bacon will go down in history as that of him who really opened the doors of learning.
But how was the work received in Rome? Did Clement read it? Did he make comments?
I have sad news, Friar.
Sad news?
Yes. By the time I reached Rome, Pope Clement IV was dead.
Dead? Oh. And his successor?
Of the old school.
Ignorant, intolerant. Oh, but what am I to do?
Knowing you as I do, Friar, you will go straight ahead in your own way, seeking the truth, teaching, writing, and pray God you may be permitted to walk in the paths of peace.
Again, John of London, you deliver me from prison. Faithful John of London. This time they kept me 14 years.
And after only 3 brief years of freedom.
But I foresaw it coming. I even prepared my defense in advance. I told them, because these things are beyond your comprehension, you call them the works of the devil. Your theologians and canonists abhor them as the productions of magic, regarding them as unworthy of a Christian. But it availed nothing.
I'm afraid, Friar, the shoe pinched. And your statement was scarcely suave and diplomatic.
But, John, it was true. John, I have sent for you once more because I am dying.
No, Friar.
Yes, son, my time has come.
But at least you have the joy of having fought the good fight. You have accomplished much, so much, even in the face of adversity.
How much? Oh, no, so little. But it is on account of the ignorance of those with whom I have had to deal that I have not been able to accomplish more. What dreams I had. What disillusionment. Now, only bitterness is left. John, I repent me now that I have given myself so much trouble for the love of science.
How strange it seems that a man like Bacon should have spent more than a quarter of his life in prison. And what poetic justice that it should have been he who pried open the prison doors of ignorance to bring new freedom to the whole world. Many of his own experiments were directly responsible for better vision. The lens laid on top of a page of reading matter was the forerunner of spectacles. His discoveries in the realm of refractive power of glass were of basic importance in the long drawn-out task of bringing eyeglasses to their present-day perfection. The comfort and the scientific correction of faulty vision derived from properly fitted eyeglasses depend not only on the accurate curvature of the lenses, but on the refractive power of the glass itself. The special glass used for this purpose must bend the light rays an exact predetermined amount. What is more, its composition must be uniform throughout. Anyone who has looked through a piece of cheap, wavy window glass appreciates this fact. And then as you think of Bacon and of the new world he opened up to mankind, just remember that 80% of the new knowledge of science has come to us through our eyes, exactly as 80% of what we do and know today depends on good eyesight. Do we take full advantage of the heritage Bacon won for us at so dear a price? Only if we take proper care of our eyes, the only pair of eyes we'll ever have. Only if we have them examined at regular intervals. Only if we religiously have defective vision properly corrected by glasses so as to save the precious gift of sight with which nature has endowed us. This is Howard Claney speaking. Be with us again next week at the same time over the same station for another dramatization in this interesting series of Men of Vision, men who have opened the eyes of the world.